Hey y'all, it's Anime K-Man. Today I'm going to be reading the first episode of Kemurikusa. And I'm going to say, this anime has a relatively interesting start because it kind of has like this apocalyptic setting because you got these creatures called red bugs pretty much wreaking havoc in the setting. And then you got these quote-unquote humans with like fucking powers. And I'm already starting to like the main character Rin because she's pretty much headstrong, a pretty cool thinker. So from a character standpoint, some of the characters are decent. And I'd say really the only downside from the character standpoint is this male character introduced partway in the episode called, I believe, Wakaba. And don't get me wrong, it's him being like a normal human, because yeah, Rin with like superpowers and Wakaba's a normal human, and him being partially introduced. Him just being a normal human isn't the issue I had with him from a character standpoint. The issue I had is when he was in like these life and death situations, he was relatively calm. Like when this chick was about to kill him, normally a person would be panicking, they'd be sweating, they'd probably be shaking, but he's all like, oh, I'm sorry for causing trouble. And I'm like, boy, that does not feel realistic at all. Or when he's like being like lifted by this character with like strength, you would think he'd be swaying or shaking, but he's like also relatively calm. And it's like, the fuck? So sometimes when it comes to like the portrayal of human emotion, well, it fits in with the characters with superpowers because they're in an apocalyptic setting. When it comes to portraying human emotion for like a more normal human character, it feels a bit off. So from a character standpoint, I say it's decent. And if they would have just adjusted the Wakaba character a bit more, it'd be pretty good. Now, from a story standpoint, again, it's got some intrigue because the world's ravaged by these red bugs. And then, for some reason, there's like these little girl characters that can like multiply, that have powers too. And so it has some kind of intrigue there. And then it got more interesting when the regular normal human was introduced, because everyone's thinking that human is like some kind of red bug creature that can just speak. But he's obviously different. So that was relatively interesting. I'd say really the only hiccups from the story is it doesn't explain some shit. Like, there's a scene where Wakaba's literally tied up in ropes. And then he sees one of the girl characters in danger and rescues her, but it doesn't even give an explanation as to like how he gets out of the ropes. It doesn't show a scene that goes from point A to point B and how he escapes. And it's like, wait, what? It's instead of going from point A to point E, he goes from point A to point C. And that's kind of something I felt this episode lacked. Sometimes it lacks some transitionary scenes to make things flow better. And then he saves the girl all of a sudden, and it's like, and at first I thought maybe it was like this hot fog that melted the ropes. Then I was thinking when I was like, wait, no, that can't be. The reason why that can't be is because, for one, his clothes are still fine, so if the fog was hot, then it should have melted the rope and the clothes, but his clothes were scot-free. So things like that kind of make you wonder about the story. If this is just the first episode, and the writers are making already these kind of mistakes, it makes you wonder like what other slip-ups there are going to be in future episodes. But it was relatively interesting. At least this episode got me invested enough to want to see the second episode, so I'll give it that. Now, from a visual standpoint, it was pretty well done. The CG artwork was pretty good for the most part. There were only a few instances where the CG kind of looked ugly, like in this far away shot where you see Wakaba's fingers and they don't look like fingers, they look like fucking claws. And then there was a scene where I believe Ritsu was crying because this one character died. And then the CG kind of looked awkward there in that instance. So there are a few instances where the animation was kind of off. But for the most part, the animation was competent. It was competently done. I'm going to give it props to that. And All in all, I'd say this episode was relatively entertaining, and I recommend this show for anyone that wants to see like a CG show with some decent action, which is what this show's providing so far. But for anyone that wants to have something with like a nice narrative, you might want to look elsewhere because of this episode's already having some slippages in the first episode. I can't imagine what the future episodes are going to be. For me, I'm still going to watch it because it has some decent action. I'll give it one more episode, and I'd say my overall score is 5 out of 10. I'd say a pretty average start. If it would have tuned up a few things, at least with the Walkabout character, I'd say this episode would be like a 6 or 7 out of 10, but not a bad start. So anyways, guys, comment down your thoughts on the episode below in the comment section. Rate the video, subscribe if you want to see more reviews and reactions, and I'll see you guys later or next week. Alright, guys and gals, bye-bye.